Talking with Mules head football coach Jim Svoboda. Coach, just wrapped up spring practice. Just kind of give us your overall thoughts of how the spring went.
Well, from a head coach's standpoint, really good because there was a lot of good stuff on both sides of the ball. We came out of it pretty healthy. It's always a concern in spring ball, especially when you do it late like we do. But probably the most impressive thing to me with our guys was just the level of intensity and focus that they came out with each practice and enthusiasm. It was really fun and infectious to be around, and the net result is they got a lot done this spring because of that.
There were some key losses last year, but you also have a lot of guys coming back. How important is it to have all those guys who've been in the program now for a couple of years coming back and kind of helping the young guys along in the spring?
Well, it's always important just from a leadership standpoint, something that we've tried to emphasize here the last couple of years and with our leadership council and everything. And so, those types of guys, and the more you have, the better off you are, really set the standard in terms of, how you practice and, the day in and day out sort of grind of being a player and, off-season training and all those kinds of things helps to keep the team focused.
Who are some of the guys that, and offensively and defensively, some of the guys who kind of stepped up this spring or maybe, improved their stock a little bit as you head into the fall camp?
Well, we really had, really a lot of good performances. As a group on offense, I would say the receivers really probably had including the tight ends, really had a good spring. Cullen Rosine really did a nice job. Some of the young receivers, we had Ron Lloyd back and Cooper back at receiver, and they did a nice job. But Andrew Baker and Justice McMullen, Andrew Duncan, Anthony Kirkwood, who's also a returner, as a group, they were really solid. In our offensive line group, they were kind of small in numbers, and they were consistent all spring just in terms of, it's difficult to scrimmage and do those things when you're short on offensive linemen, and those guys came ready to practice, so they kind of got the work ethic award for the spring. We rep 5 quarterbacks. That's always a challenge to get those guys quality reps, but as a group, I thought they really did a nice job. Defensively, our linebackers were probably, in my mind, were our most impressive group. We got some guys that can really run at that position. Alex Perlin and Ricky Spratley, Zach Quinas, those kids are really athletic and can run. Our defensive line was probably the most consistent group in terms of what they did this spring. Inside, Rico Wilson, Russ Allen, and really did a good job for us. At defensive end, Pericone did a nice job, and Cody Wright and Josh Powell, who's a newcomer, Jason Venskis, those kids did a nice job. Secondary-wise, a couple of our best players or a couple of our returning players there are in their 10th year. Paul Hughes and Ryan Berry are in their 10th semester, and so they couldn't practice with us this spring, so that allowed some young guys to really step up, like Kadarius Green at the corner spot. Zach Linebaugh was back, and he did a great job. He's always a consistent player. Tevin Teamer at the safety spot's a new kid. He did a good job. Connor Smith was really steady this spring, and I thought he brought a new level of intensity to his game as well. So, newcomer-wise, it was kind of fun to see. Always kind of fun to see these young guys step up. We really had an outstanding freshman class. Andrew Baker at receiver, Justice McMullen at receiver. Those kids really came out and had great springs, really opened up some eyes. On the offensive line, Lane Fisher's a true freshman from Warrensburg. He did a nice job. On defense, I already mentioned Tevin Teamer, but De'Aaron Rhodes at the corner spot. Those two kids are really impressive for young guys. Josh Powell is one of our best guys in the off-season. So, a lot of positives coming out of spring.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.